So Joe, do you think it's important for young people like yourself who are in the midst of doing transition planning, do you think it's a good idea to learn about the supported decision-making practice? Do you think it's a good idea to learn about that? Yes? Yes? Do you want to share a little bit about what we're doing in our process of becoming supported decision-making team? Should we share about what? Oh, yes. Okay. Hi, everybody. Transition Tuesday with Jane and Joe. I'm Jane. This is Joe. We're talking about the process of supported decision-making, which is an alternative to the traditional guardianship. So we are working with a youth advocacy group called the Center for Youth Voice and Youth Choice. The Georgia team is called I Decide Georgia. And we have a little acronym. DECIDE is like a description of all the different parts of what it takes to do supported decision making. So they are direct, enlist, choose, inform, determine, and experience. So we've been doing this series and we've already gone through direct, enlist, and choose. Today we're going to talk about inform. So inform, you will need to tell the people in your life about supported decision making and how it works for you. That's what we're doing today with y'all. You might need to tell doctors or teachers or people who work in other businesses. You want to make sure all the people in your life are informed about how you make decisions. And that's a lot of what we've been doing with Transition Tuesdays, is helping people understand how someone like Joe, who's a functionally nonverbal person who needs a lot of support because of his level of disabilities, how even Joe, who you might not think on the surface is capable of running his life and finding a team to support him in running his life, can do it. So that's what we're all about. So informing is about telling people in your life about supported decision making. So at this point in our process, we are sharing with different people, like when Joe goes to a doctor and I'm Joe's communication partner and part of his supported decision-making team. You know, we share with the doctor about how, Joe is going to make the choices and I'm going to help him communicate. So we're informing the doctor. If we go to the bank and Joe needs to make a withdrawal or a deposit. Now, honestly, a lot of it we do electronically, but sometimes we do go into the bank. We live in a small community. People know Joe, so we go into the bank and we, do business. And I'm Joe's communication partner, and I encourage them the people in the bank to talk to Joe, not to talk to me, to train them about this young man who is about to turn 21, who will be an adult. I mean, he's already over 18, but when you hit that 21 milestone, that's it. You are in adult status. And, we need people in our community to understand that Joe is in charge of his life. So Gabby, our friend, has made us yet another cool graphic to illustrate inform, and here it is. It says, "This is Joe. Joe gets support from folks he trusts to help him make his own decisions. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Going out in the community and helping people understand that Joe is large and in charge. So some other places where that could happen for Joe right now is in his meetings at school, his individual education plan or IEP meetings at school, when people are discussing what Joe's learning goals will be. Joe has the right to participate in that discussion. He should. Anybody with a disability who goes to school should be part of their own IEP team, because it's your education, it's your school. You definitely have a place at the table. When Joe is making decisions about, we recently found an aquatic therapist, and Joe, did you feel like you helped make the decision about going to see Tanya for therapy? Yes? Did you feel like you were part of that decision? Yes? Tell me with your voice or touch my hand. Were you part of deciding that? I see your smile. Was it important to you to be part of that decision? Yes. Yeah, sure, because he's the one doing the therapy. I mean, I am present, but I'm not doing the therapy. I don't have cerebral palsy. That's all about Joe, what Joe needs. You know, we were talking to a friend, and she was saying that it was really important for her to move her body. And so we realized that Joe needs to make sure that he's moving his body, and aquatics are amazing for that. So Joe, we lucked out, found this therapist, and we went to meet her last week. And it was up to Joe. If Joe did not like the therapist, we wouldn't continue. So as member of Joe's supported decision-making team, I'm just there to facilitate the meeting and work on, the insurance, all those practical pieces. But Joe is the one who's deciding if this is going to be what he wants to do. Yeah, so this is really important. And for people who are verbal, the process is just as hard, because when you're young and you're making life decisions about your future, guidance is very important, whether you have a disability or not. So having a supported decision-making team is a good idea. So that's our piece about informing. We'd like to thank the Center for Youth Voice and Youth Choice, and I Decide Georgia, and Dana Lloyd, our fearless leader, and Gabby for our wonderful graphics. We would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our YouTube channel is Transition Tuesdays with Jane and Joe, and we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time.